Institutionalized with Dauphin Williams. We're back at it. We have a special guest, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell because that way you know when we have a new episode up. This is going to be a long one today, but a lot of good info. Without further ado, here we go. Once again, welcome back to Institutionalized with Dauphin Williams. I have a special guest today. While everybody else adapted to it, he was born into it and he was molded by it. My special guest is Edmund Dorrance. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good.
Well, we just got a couple of things to talk about today. We were talking a little bit about GDI, so we'll go ahead and talk about that. So what made you want to start GDI, and can you tell people kind of what GDI is?
We donate, well, first of all, GDI is Global Donations Initiative. It's a company that we started. There's a lot, we donate a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of product, a lot of training time, a lot of everything. And we use programs to do that because it's impossible for me to donate anything to your kid's high school fund, no matter how much I want to. I can't hand you $5 anymore. Our world is way too big for that.
Yes.
And we use things like we use things. Okay, even let's say Facebook. We use things like Facebook to tell people, "Hey, my kid's saving up for a car." But like right now, it kind of stops there. Like, no one's interested. Like that's it. Your kid's saving up for a car. Who cares? Now, me and a lot of people like me, which I think there's a lot of, would love to be like, "Yeah, man, here's $5. Like, kick this to your kid." Like, just your kid's, man, your kid's cool, and your kid's awesome. Like, your kid's, I hear stories about your kid, he's super cool. Like, here's $5 to kick towards your kid's car. And if you have 5,000 friends on Facebook, man, your kid's fucking getting a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty neat. And I think that if more people had the opportunity to do that, I think that more people would.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason why I can think of that less people would do it is the fact that when you look at these programs, so much money goes to overhead and to salaries and to paying for all these other things. And anytime you're dealing with finances, that's something that it doesn't have to be as bad as they're making it. Don't get me wrong, but that's something that's anytime you're dealing with finances, that's something that's going to happen. Everyone wants to get paid. So we tried to find a way that I could give your kid $5 and your kid get the entire $5 and everyone's happy. I somehow I wanted to be able to get what I want out of it, and for your kid to get what he wants out of it, and it not to get ate up in the wash. So we decided to do this decentralized. We developed our own cryptocurrency. We developed our own token for it. The people who are running GDI, my attorney, my business partner, everyone involved, no one's making a salary off of this. We will have absolutely zero salary employees. Anything and everything that gets paid for will be paid for via a decentralized token. So once this program is 100% launched and in place, there will be no owners, there will be no co-conspirators. It will exist in its own faction. The only way that we will make any money off of this is by investing into our own project, by purchasing tokens, and then being able to donate or resell those tokens at a higher value later. At first, you're like, well, I mean, you're buying stock in your own company and then you're selling it later, like you're still making money off of it. I get that, and that's true.
Yeah.
But you yourself, you've invested with us. You have the exact same potential to make dollar for dollar off of my idea, the same amount that I have. You can buy the same amount of tokens for the same amount of money I paid for it. You can make every single dollar that I make off of this, you will make the same amount. And when we donate something to somebody, that we know that it's going to them. So how does this weed function? So we're going to have an open market. We'll be on other people's markets as well. And as people purchase tokens to be able to donate them, they're going to be purchasing it from either A, someone else who's purchased it for investment purposes, or B, someone who has received a donation. So if like right now, we will be launching at a minimum of $1 liquidity per token. But the thing is as the company grows and its interest grows, again, I hate to say Bitcoin's name over and over, but it's just the most recognized brand.
Yes.
As the company grows and the interest grows, the company value will grow, the token asset will grow. So if somebody bought 100,000 tokens right now at $1 a piece, if these tokens move up to $40 a piece over the next 2 years, I mean, there's your return, and that's how we'll make our money off of this.
Yeah.
We will not be making it off of people. There will be no percentage kickback to us. There's nothing.
So, and I see that you talked about before, like, okay, so for instance, since I'm in the U.S. and I let's say I donate to that and I get a return, it's a Bitcoin, well, it's not, it's a cryptocurrency. If I'm in Europe, it will totally be a different amount.
It's because it's completely decentralized. Yeah, because it's completely decentralized, what ends up happening is like, let's say, because we're in Chile, so like, even though our peso is 800 to 1 versus a US dollar, it's like let's say a Coca-Cola here costs like $100, 100 pesos.
Okay.
So basically, it costs you probably like $2 for the same one. So the thing is if I donate you $1, it buys 1 Coke. If you donate me $1, it buys 2 Cokes. And that's something that decentralized currencies have the ability to do. So if again, I'm saying your kid, but
yeah,
if your kid and his friends went to the lake and they're cleaning up bottles by the lake, and they posted on here, not asking for donations, not demanding money, not like GoFundMe. They posted like on Facebook, here's some pictures of us cleaning up the lake. How cool is this? This is what we did Saturday. So I'm like, here's $5. Someone else is like, here's $5. Someone else is here's $5. Let's say your kid makes $50 cleaning up the lake. I mean, with over 1 million people on the website, it's very possible. Your kid makes $50 to clean up the lake. And now your kid wants to clean up the lake next weekend too. He wants $50 more. And now his friends and now these random strangers want to go clean up lakes also, because they want to make, everyone's trying to, everyone wants to do good, but everyone wants to get paid for it.
Yeah.
But here's where decentralized comes in, is we're likely to donate that same $50 to any set of kids cleaning up the lake, not just American kids.
Yeah.
So if you donated that $50 to a kid in Cambodia who's cleaning up the lake, that $50 might feed his family for the entire week. And when you hear, there's actually like the third layer of this is something that we never intended. The investment layer was something we thought was going to be beautiful. The donations layer is something we thought was going to be beautiful. This will be my first time saying this on the air, actually. The third layer was an accident. It was not something we intended on doing originally. As we timelined the project and watched it expand in a virtual space, we ran into something that was unexpected. The first step to that was someone has a band, let's say. Their band could actually post on their page their live practices or whatever, and people would donate beer money to this band.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of happened. We're like, well, that's awesome. Like, someone could just kind of donate gas money and beer money, like, randomly to this band who's just playing a couple hours a day. That's cool. That's another part of this. That's another thing that can happen. So we started thinking about that more. So the page is not going to be allowed to have advertisers on it at all. If Pepsi wants to advertise on our website, Pepsi cannot buy a banner. Pepsi cannot advertise directly on our website.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Pepsi would advertise on our website is they would pay us. When they pay us, by the way, that money goes to what's called a coin burn. Anything that once the company becomes decentralized, anything that gets paid into the company, basically those coins get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's 40 million coins and somebody pays us $100 for a copy of a program, then we actually destroy $100 worth of coins off of the back end that nobody owns.
Yeah.
But that makes your coins more rare now, because now there's not 40 million anymore. There's 39,900,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If Pepsi wants to advertise on our site, they don't contact us to advertise. They contact us. We send them a sheet of like a process report of like, this is viewership in these countries. These are some of the things that we know about different viewers on the site. And they're like, oh, we like Dauphin's site. This is pretty cool. So Pepsi reaches out to you and tells you, hey, we're going to donate $100 to your website a week, but we want you to hang up these Pepsi logos and stuff in the background of your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So Pepsi is going to approach you to advertise on our website. Now, because right now, social media, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's not getting rich off of Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's getting rich off of selling your information.
Yep.
And this puts you in the opportunity where you're going to be selling your information. So now not only have we tackled this amazing donations platform that's going to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's period. Now not only have we created this investment opportunity that is phenomenal, because any cryptocurrency, here's something different between our cryptocurrency and others.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cryptocurrency, like 80% of altcoins are scams. And some of them not intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are very well laid plans that just never come to fruition. Ours will have liquidity the day that it's launched. We will be a real functioning company, like already, basically. Like, we already have $300,000 worth of people who have purchased coins that they will be purchasing from donations off the board. We're already liquid. This doesn't need a crazy white page to explain to you why it works. Mm-hmm. This doesn't need a business attorney to tell you why it's going to work. This will be a functioning product before you ever spend on it. That's something that we will destroy a lot of other Bitcoins in the function of, because a lot of them will never, ever make it to that point. We will be at that point before we get launched.
Oh, wow.
So we've created this amazing investment opportunity. We've created a donations platform that should have already existed, that I have no idea why no one's done this before. But now we've also put this in a position where you can, even if it's $10 a week,
mm-hmm.
even if it's nothing, it's more than what Facebook's paying you to be on Facebook.
Yep.
Why should Pepsi pay? Well, because let's say it's not mine, it's ours, and eventually it'll be centralized and it's nobody's.
Yeah.
But why should Pepsi pay me for the content that you're producing on my website? Pepsi should be paying you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask your next question for you. Because this is why would we do that? Why would we put the time and effort in this to create something like this and then let Pepsi pay you and not keep a part of that money for ourselves? Why would we let you keep all of that money?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that runs through the page, everything that gets donated has a 1% coin burn on it. Everything that touches the page burns 1% of the total tokens left. So even when Pepsi pays you, the entire program becomes more valuable because now there's less tokens in the program. So even though I'm not making any money directly off of Pepsi, Pepsi is making my stock worth more every time they pay you. And not just my stock, your stock, and his stock, and everyone who has anything to do with the site. Right now, until our coin is set up, until we have our blockchain set up, our attorney has created a document that's an IOU. It basically tells us exactly how many tokens the company owes you. We also copy that over into a I don't remember the name of it right now. It's
Like a ledger?
Google Drive. Google Drive, yeah. There's a ledger on Google Drive that everyone has access to.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have everyone's full name on there. It's just your certificate number and your initials. At any point in time, anyone can go onto our Google Drive and see that their name and stuff is there. Like I said, like our attorney built it. Everything is as legally binding as we could possibly make it right now. That says that we owe you something. If the company were to launch and we weren't to hold true to that, then we would have destroyed everything we worked for. There's nothing in it for us to do that.
Mm-hmm. And the good thing about it is that you're kind of like you were talking about with the kids, cleaning up stuff and everything like that. If you think about it, if other people get onto just that aspect of it, we're kind of killing two birds with one stone, and we're helping people at the same time, helping the world. Like you said, making the world a better place.
Even if your kid is selling donuts for school,
yeah,
your kid could literally post their donuts on the website. And here's the reason why they couldn't do that on, like, let's say GoFundMe or something, is because there's the percentage of loss is too great to make sense for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
With ours, granted, there's a little bit of a risk because if you accept $400 in donations and the coin drops to $380, then I mean somebody's gonna have to cover the extra $20. But on the other hand, if you accept $400 in donations and the coin goes up to $450, then I mean there's that too. But there's no direct loss, immediate loss through us. So if your kid wanted to sell candy bars for $1 donations, then that's totally cool. There's nothing that will stop them from doing it.
Okay.
Your kid could literally play Fortnite with a camera in the background, and people can donate to watch your kid play Fortnite.
Nice.
And not through an algorithm, not through a YouTube algorithm that they only get paid when their advertisements show, not through some weird thing that could be hidden, where if your kid says something about a president someone doesn't like, and suddenly their page gets buried and never sees the light of day again. Your kid would literally post his link, and if people want to give him $1, then they can. And if they don't, then they don't.
If you think about it too, it's just like if everybody, me and you both, I know you probably got more friends than me on Facebook. If everybody just donated $1, just $1, that's ridiculous. That they can get a return, a better return just for $1.
Well, and someone told me, they were like, oh, well, why would anyone give my kid, let's not even say kids anymore, because there's so much bigger. I will never have a kid. I don't want my own, but I love everyone else's kids. but, even if it was you, if you're like, hey man, I want to get, whatever, my knee's messed up. If anyone wants to pitch in, I gotta get a knee surgery. And they're like, dude, why would anyone pitch in for your knee surgery? Like, why would you even do that? It's like, well, how much money have you made off of Facebook so far?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna bet that it's $0. So if it's anything greater than zero, then we've already accomplished something.
Yeah. True. No, I like it.
Like you said, with the people on Facebook, and people are doing this now with all these other apps, and I think the problem is we don't want to do porn on our site. Don't get me wrong. We have to have some sort of moderation because we want the site to be an all ages site. we have to stop people from advertising blatantly on the site. Mm-hmm. We might allow access to people saying like maybe Pepsi could have if they announce a mango Pepsi, maybe they can do this brand new mango Pepsi. Maybe they can advertise this new brand new thing, but they can't just advertise generically. But even then, any money they pay to advertise goes to a coin burn. It does not go towards anyone directly. Any money they go to buys tokens, which are then immediately destroyed.
Yeah.
So even if we accepted $1 million advertising deal from Pepsi, the way that it's set up, if we accepted $1 million advertising deal from Pepsi, Pepsi would buy $1 million worth of tokens, which would immediately be destroyed, and we would never see a penny of Pepsi's money. It would be reflected on everyone. We would never see a penny direct.
Okay.
Now, granted, I'm going to buy, while it's as low as it is, while I know I can get them for 35 cents, I'm marking off as many of my own shares as I can for myself. I'm not going to pretend like that's not happening.
Yeah, of course.
I would love to have, I want to have 100,000 shares at least of my own company sitting to the side for 35 cents a piece. So if it hits $100 a share, I can turn around and sell them. Don't get me wrong. And if they're $100 a share and they drop to $70 a share, I'm going to buy a bunch more for $70 a share, so I can sell them for $100 a share when it hits $100 again. Just like I do with Bitcoin or any other coin.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I'm planning on making money. I'm just not planning on collecting a salary.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm doing it myself. I'm doing it every payday. I'm telling you, I'm going to donate so I can get up in there.
I
don't have you money. I don't have $100,000 money, but I have a little bit.
I don't have any money either right now. This has been some expensive projects lately. I can tell you that in everything I've ever been involved in, this is something that not only am I super. I use the word in another interview, because if we don't, now that the cat's out of the bag and they've explained how this works, the clock is running, because this should happen. Mm-hmm. It should have already happened. Maybe we beat someone else to the punch, and someone else already thought about it before we did. I don't know. I've never seen it. I swear on everything. This is a concept that we brought ourselves, but the fact is that this makes so much sense that it is inevitable. This is something that is going to happen, whether we like it or not, whether we're part of it or not, whether you're part of it or not. This is something that's inevitable, and it's absolutely going to happen. And I've never been so sure about a project in my life of its inevitability.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Hey, especially if you're the one running it, I like somebody with confidence about it that it's going to work. A lot of the stuff that you donate into, especially with me being in the military, they always come up with some, hey, can you donate to this, donate to this, donate to this, and then we don't ever see the return, as far as, buying T-shirts. We never see the T-shirt or, stuff like that. Or we find out organizations are fake. I love that. I love that you got your lawyer into it. I love that he's making it safe for everybody. That nobody's getting paid for it. This is a whole joint venture you're paying yourself, I guess you could say, pretty much.
I'm actually glad you said that. That's there needs to be, if someone has a product,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be some sort of way to see. Here's the thing, and then this is now I'm in business mode, less so than interview mode. But here's the thing with that is, because no one's actually selling products
Mm-hmm.
on our page, it's all donations.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess if someone did not send your T-shirt, then it would be, we could ban them from the site.
Yeah.
But it would be hard for me to get your T-shirt or your money back because it's a donation. It's not actually a payment. At the same time, hiring social media people and hiring moderators to watch for that kind of thing was actually the absolute first employee that we hired was a social media person whose sole job is to go through and fish through some of these things.
Yeah.
And to make sure that those kind of things don't happen to people. And honestly, you'll be happy to know that she's working based off of shares. She's getting a small, because we have to pay people for website design. We have to pay people for a lot of stuff. She's working for about 20% what the lowest quote was, and she's taking the rest of her payment in shares of the company. She's that sure of the project.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that too. Yeah. So is there anything, because we're getting about the 40-minute mark. Hey, so is there anything that you want the viewers to know, the listeners to hear about this that would, kind of push them over the edge that they would want to donate?
I would love for them to read the GoFundMe. We keep editing it, and we want people to understand more and more. Every time we do another interview, and every time we have another conversation, and every time we talk to more people, anytime that we could find any holes or anything, we keep patching them and fixing them and working those through as we go. One of the reasons I love these interviews is it generates the exposure to get us out there.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason is any questions that anyone asks, I love them, and I love the ones that I don't know the answer to, even more than the ones that I can answer, because I will immediately shut everything down until we find a way around them. That's a really big thing. We want this to be centralized. I don't want to own this. I don't want anyone to own this. I think one of the most beautiful things about this is if in the next 5 years this becomes a wild animal, this becomes like Bitcoin, where you don't know who owns it. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
The bills get paid, the website keeps running, everything keeps doing its own, and there is no owner. There's no one collecting anything. And if we can reach that point of decentralization where this becomes a living, breathing thing that's out there on its own, that is our ultimate goal. And because of that, any questions that anyone could possibly ask that could lead down a road of something that we have to discover, I appreciate that. I genuinely appreciate that, because those are the things that we want to tackle before it becomes a wild animal out there on its own.
Yes. Well, man, thank you for coming on the show. Definitely. I'm going to use you as much as you're going to use me to get some subscribers and maybe get some donations up in there. So is there anything else you want to say?
I appreciate it. No, man, that's it. Hopefully, maybe in like a week or so, we can revisit this and see what new information has popped up.
Yeah, I'm going to put the link down at the bottom in the description so everybody can check it out. And I'll even post a little picture of my certificate, what we were talking about, so they can see what it's talking about, what you were talking about. So
that'd be awesome, man. That would be awesome. Yeah, the certificate's really pretty. It's a nice way to at least have something tangible that you can be like. And honestly, I mean, for me, I'm a nerd. For me, man, like I've said this before that there's something about being first. It's something that's worth. It has some sort of value to it.
Yeah.
Like if this becomes what we expect it to be, like imagine if like your dad was like the guy who loaned Henry Ford like $1,000 to like to buy his first like scrap metal stuff like that. Like your dad never made any money off of it. All he gets is $100 back. You're not rich, you're not nothing, but like you get to tell people like, bro, my dad loaned Henry Ford $1,000. Like how crazy is that?
Yeah.
So like that certificate to some people, and some people, and I'm sure will never look at it again. They're just gonna sit it aside. Like to me, I can't wait to hang mine on the wall and be like, yo, like 15 years ago, before Amazon was Amazon, like I got in on Amazon before it was Amazon. Like how neat is that?
Man, I was gonna buy Bitcoin when it was $100, and I just didn't do it. I'm such an idiot now. I feel so stupid.
I would love to think in every way possible. I would love to. I remember it when it was. Yeah, I mean, we've all missed that opportunity.
Yeah.
And there's no way that we can go back to it. I hope to provide something similar. I mean, if we ramp up, I mean, even if we can get the 400, which I think is realistic, we ran these numbers to a lot of guys who do crypto. Our entry target market is $160 million company.
Mm-hmm.
At $160 million, that puts the coins at $4 each. GoFundMe is $600 million. I don't know what 600 million divided by 40 million is off the top of my head, but like, those kind of give you the numbers we're shooting for. So, I mean, if anyone got in now at 35 cents, and I mean, you're talking about $4, I mean, that's a pretty serious come up in a really short period of time.
Yeah, very much so.
We plan on being open way before then, but we plan on being around 85 to 90% operational within 18 months.
Nice. Yeah, well, I got a lot of time to donate my little nickel and dimes then, so I can get up to your level. So,
Amen. And every single bit of it is appreciated. I hope everyone knows that. I wish I could read the list of names. I love everyone that's trusted in us. I love everyone that's any part of this, and I honestly think this is going to change people's lives, and more so than we expected. I think this is going to change like a planet. Like this is going to be a big deal.
Well, man, a lot of people that I've met since meeting Art, Tiny, Cavs, Johnson, Jake, and everybody, man. You know, a lot of those guys have embraced me. Like I don't even know them. I just saw them, and I'm really into bodybuilding. At least I like looking at the body. I like looking at people who, with strength and everything. Right. I used to bodybuild years ago, but I fell off. So, but anyway, a lot of those people embrace me like I'm one of their own, and really embrace me like I'm family and stuff. So if they trust you, and of course I've talked to you since then and stuff, of course I trust you now too. So, it was simple. It was no brainer. So.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. Honestly.
Yeah. And then for saving me today for that discussion, but anyway, but anyway, thank you for coming on my show, and like I said, I'll post the link down there at the bottom. And next time I get you on, we could talk about Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion's video.
Let's do it. Let's do that too.
All right, man.
Thank you once again, Edmund, for coming on the page. Just so you guys know, Edmund Dorrance is not his real name. That's the name on Bane from DC Comics, Bane, the guy who broke Batman's back. That's his father. So I mean, he's pretty big. So I mean, he probably could be. That was that picture that I posted earlier. And for those who want to know as well, the reason why the voice was distorted is because we wanted to kind of hide his voice and stuff. He bodybuilds and stuff and endorses a lot of bodybuilders and everything, and he gets a lot of endorsements because of that kind of stuff. And we don't want to try to ruin his stuff because I post a lot of controversial things and still do a lot of other people. So if Michael Jordan was on my show, or Shaq or somebody who gets a lot of endorsements, and I say something crazy and they're like, oh yeah, then obviously they're going to lose endorsements, and nobody wants that to ruin somebody's way of life like that. So that's why we did it. Once again, subscribe to my channel if you can, and hit the bell, and you can see when the next episode comes on. I'm not gonna have the next episode. I'm not gonna have anybody on. It's just gonna be me and you talking about some issues and everything. So I think you guys are kind of fed up of having guests right now, but GDI, that's something you guys really need to check out. I'll put the links down there in the description so you can check out. Thank you for coming on the show, and don't forget to free your mind.